Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Orange Blossom Social. And I am your humble correspondent, Bobby Randall, this morning. And it's 66 degrees here in Ocala, Florida. And finally warmed up a little bit. It was a little chilly. So we are glad you're here. Welcome to all the folks watching on Facebook. Remember, this show is about you. It's about questions from you all and people out on online watching. Pardon me. And it's about my voice is a little better today. But we'll see how that goes. Also, our special guest today is Dave Hawkes, who's the newest member of the Orange Blossom Opry Band. There he is.
Thank you.
How you doing, buddy?
Doing well. Doing well.
Yep. How many days have you been here? I can't remember. Have you been 2 weeks?
1 week officially, 2 weeks unofficially.
Yeah. Okay. And doing an incredible job in the band, folks. I don't get it, but folks seem to love you. Make any sense to me, but hey, you're doing an incredible job.
I'm trying.
So the coolest thing about you, or one of the cool things about you, there are many cool things about you. The coolest thing is you ride Harleys like the rest of us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but the one of the cool things about you is you know all these old songs like I do, and Keith Horn, and playing in a band like this, it's advantageous. It's almost a necessity to know that because you cannot. You can only learn so many songs that you're not familiar with. If a guy says, "Here, play this," and you've never heard it before, you know, you can only handle a few of those. But you know a bunch of country music.
Oh, I've been doing it for, almost 30 years now, so
Yeah.
I've paid a little attention.
And did you play, you had to, somewhere in your career, play in some kind of band, like at a house band or some kind of thing where you played 4 or 5 hours a night, all that stuff, you did that?
Absolutely. And did a lot of years on the road, doing when I was much younger, my brother and I had a band, and we did the West Coast circuit, the mountain circuit.
Yeah, there was a lot of places back then, because back
yeah.
then, that's, I don't know if that's even happens anymore, but when I'm a little older than you, but when we were younger, there were tons of places to play.
There used to be, roadhouses, multiples in several towns,
Yep.
You go to Casper, Wyoming, and there'd be, 4 different clubs that have live music on the weekends or, even through the week.
Sneaking at the Beacon. Where was the Beacon?
The Beacon in Mills, Wyoming, just outside of Casper.
Yeah, we played a lot of the same, holes.
Right.
Those kind of places. Yeah, well, and I think that whole thing has kind of gone away now. If you remember back years ago, you all probably remember John Travolta doing the Urban Cowboy record. It literally changed the country because my dad played in a bunch of those little bars when I was a kid. I started playing in a bar when I was 14 and, playing fiddle for my dad. And there was all those, like you said, little watering hole places to play. And then after the Urban Cowboy, it seemed like that was the cliche thing to do. Everybody had cowboy hats. Everybody bought cowboy boots that had never been on a horse in their life. But and then those places opened up everywhere. Cowboys, there was a Longhorn Cowboy Stampedes, whatever they were called, everywhere.
Right.
And you could make a little bit of a living back in those days.
Oh yeah, I mean that's for the longest time. Probably better part of 20 years. That's all I did for a living was play honky tonks, play house band jobs. Like you said, the Cowboys chain, and out of Texas, I was with Cowboys for 17 years, just about.
Yeah, and I guess that's kind of gone away now.
It kind of has, yeah.
Nobody goes out and listens to live music much anymore in the bars. I don't know why it went away, but it just kind of did. Well, here's now you're at the Orange Blossom Opry, and one of the coolest things, there's many cool things about being here, is the fact that this is. I guess it's like a listening room, sort of. It's like a big listening room. In Nashville, we'd play a few of those. But people don't come here to dance or come here to drink or come here to, raise hell or anything like that. They come here to hear music.
Yeah, it's a great theater environment, and this room is awesome because there's not a bad seat in the house, you know?
Yeah. All brand new seats, too, by the way. Everybody's sitting out there.
It's fantastic.
The seats are sitting in brand new seats. They put in this year Roger and Heather Byers. And your feet are sitting on a new floor, too. So, well, that is, and for a guy that plays music, you really appreciate that because the people are here to hear you do what you do. They're not here to, they're not getting drunk going, Freebird, Freebird. Well,
Literally about said that.
McCarty gets like that
I was
once
going
in
to
a
scream
while.
Freebird.
Yeah, McCarty gets a little out of hand sometimes. We have to have him thrown out every
We
week.
sedate him, though, before you come out.
But every other week we have him tossed out of here. Anyway, well, welcome to the band, and we did a bit of an extensive search. It's not easy to find a guy to play in this band. First of all, I think we hold a pretty high bar as far as level of musicianship. First, that's probably the first thing, is you need to, people don't understand this, you need to be able to read. I told all the guys that were auditioning for this, if you can't read, you can't do this job. Well, I can learn something. No, you can't. There's no way. Because on Thursday nights here at the Orange Blossom Opry, as you know, we're right in the middle of our showcase contest, and it's a pretty fun thing. People come in here every night, every Thursday. We have 10 contestants, and each one of those contestants get to sing 2 songs, one in the first half, one in the second, and you have to know these songs. Right. And the band has to, you can't, because it is a contest, you don't want to come up here and you don't want to be the guy that messes up this person who's singing. So again, our requirements are that you play the song as close to the record as you can.
Yeah, you can't just be familiar with the song. You've got to know the song.
Know the song, and every song is written out. So that's there's no way you can even handle Thursday nights. In the summer, y'all, pardon me, in the summer we do a thing, and we're doing that again, Heather, summer series this summer. We are? Yes?
Yes, it starts in July.
I can only see the top of her head back there. So I think that's yes. We're going to do a summer series, and what happens then is 10 weeks, about 10 weeks, we bring in 10 different artists, and a lot of 90s country folks, Billy Dean, Wade Hayes, probably guys you know, all people that we kind of grew up with and played music with, and the band has to back all those people. So then there's 10 weeks right there of still doing Thursday night, and now you got to do, learn probably 10, 15 songs that this artist had. And the people we bring in have got 2 or 3 or a couple of big records that you know, but they're probably going to do 8 or 10 songs that you don't know. So there again, reading is a big part of the deal. So to find a guitar player that can play country music and read, a lot of those old country boys just kind of wing it. Where did you start reading numbers? Where did you come across that?
Well, in high school, I took music theory and whatnot because I played a bunch of different instruments in high school, wind instruments and string instruments. And when I graduated high school, I went to the Musicians Institute out in California.
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't graduate, but I went there.
Yeah.
And it's a real famous guitar school, and that really set the bar for me for as far as learning to read charts, notation, numbers.
Yep.
And I only left that school because I actually got in a band that was being scouted by a record label, and
got you.
And we did the road thing, and
well, so it's important to, and I'm not taking anything away from guys that just weekend guys that play, but here we are in Weirsdale, Florida, that I refer to as you all know, the entertainment capital of possibly the world, but. There's a lot of guys here, a lot of people that come here because they retire. The village is right outside the door here. There's some wonderful singers here, a lot of different players, but I haven't been. It's tough to find a country player. I had a lot of guys call a lot of guitar players call that were looking for the job, and it's funny because they go, well, I play jazz or I play this, but I can play country because they look at country as kind of being not at the same level as some of this other stuff, and in fact that's probably the farthest thing from the truth.
right.
I don't know how that came about, how that attitude came about, but to play country music and to play it right is not necessarily that easy. And they say, oh, yeah, but I can learn it. I can. No, you can't.
Well,
so,
the thing about this job, especially like on the Thursdays, is you can't just be a honky-tonk Telecaster cowboy. You've got to be able to play those Ray Price
Yeah.
jazzy licks. You've got to be able to play the Brooks and Dunn rock and roll licks. You know, you've got to be able to play a little bit of everything.
Yep.
And
And that's exactly right. And that's where all the reading comes in. We also do a thing called Friday Night Live. And one of the things that I do at Friday Night Live is, like you all, there's people here that like a wide span of music. And so if you come to a Friday Night Live, if you don't like this song, hang on, because the next song may be way over there. We do try to focus on 90s country, which is kind of my bag where I was. I think that music, for me, maybe because I was involved in all of that, but is kind of the best country music. I don't know. I know sonically what started happening in country music. I can tell you all, a buddy of mine named Mike Bradley probably single-handedly changed the sound of drums in country music. If you go back and listen to the country music and listen to a record in the 70s and then listen to those Brooks and Dunn records, he made all of those Brooks and Dunn records, and the drums, you know, they started bringing more rock sound drums into country music, the kick drum and all that. And the music, I think sonically, equipment got better, speakers got better, recording got better, players got better, and some of the 80s, 90s country, to me, is a lot better than a lot of that stuff that's out there today. For me, that's just me.
Yeah.
So we play that, and then we also play some Eagles music and all of that stuff. So we kind of shift around a little bit. Any questions, Apostle? Good morning, Apostle Paul. Everybody say good morning to our producer.
Good morning.
There. He's the producer
So
of the show.
yeah, actually, I'm glad you came to me, because being a good producer that I try to be with, along with Captain Kirk, I went out and found a sponsor for the show.
Oh, you did?
And Roger's the first time he's hearing it, Heather first time they're hearing it as well, but I found the best sponsor we could get. Flatlanders, you can get your Hey Dougie Bell
Oh, God.
down there at Flatlanders. They're the new sponsor.
Oh, brought to you
for
by
you, buddy.
Flatlanders.
Hey
everybody.
Dougie.
Boy, yeah, that cowbell thing, y'all, it's the wildest thing. We were working up songs, and Delbert McClinton, I'm a big fan of his. He was here. We decided to work up Shaky Ground, and Dougie, who plays pedal steel, said, "Well, what am I going to play?" I said, "I don't know. Why don't you play the cowbell?" Not really kidding, saying, I mean, really play it. So, you know, there's some great records that have cowbell in it. So once again, go back to, there's guys that, you know, bang away at it or learn to or play the cowbell, own it. So Dougie went out there and he owned it all right. And now it's turned into this big wave where half the people here show up, they buy those little cowbells out in the Flatlanders. It's not Flatlanders. That Flatlanders is the grill. What's the name of this,
Flatlanders Gift Shop.
Oh, like I said, Flatlanders Gift Shop.
Rainforest Tin Roof Cafe.
Oh, it's the Tin Roof
Tin
Cafe.
Roof Cafe.
They don't let me out in the lobby much, y'all. So all I know is that, and I'm proud of this fact, all I know is here at the Orange Blossom Opry, we only have a girls' bathroom and a men's bathroom. So that I know.
However, in backstage, use whatever's available.
Yeah, I did see. I saw a guy coming out of the girls' bathroom several times backstage. So that doesn't necessarily hold true back there. Any questions in the audience? Let me know. We're here just to shoot the breeze with you if you want something you want to know. Let's see, some great shows coming up. How about this weekend, yo? Was it not an awesome weekend?
Oh, man. The Bellamy's were amazing. But I'll tell you, Lee Greenwood's band.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. The harmony vocals
Yeah.
were spot on. It was like you were listening to a live record, you know?
Jeff Zona has been a friend of mine for a long time, and I really don't like him. He's one of those guys. He's an awesome guitar player, for one thing, but he also sings up there like a girl. He can sing real high, and Lee Greenwood has a tenor voice. So Lee's not a baritone. He sings, his stuff's all way up there in high keys. So to sing a harmony part on top of him, you have to almost be a girl or a sissy like Jeff. But and he came out and sang with us. If you were here, we got him to come out and sing a song with us. Lee Greenwood is 81, I think, and is that what he said, somewhere in there?
Mm-hmm.
And singing in the record key, same key that the songs were in.
And hitting every note.
Never missed a note, just killed it. And we got lucky this weekend. The thing is when we have 2 show days, the band spend all day back there backstage with those guys. And so you never know how it's going to go. You don't know who's having a good day and a bad day. All weekend, awesome weekend. Bellamy Brothers, probably two of the nicest guys you'll ever meet in your life. And Lee Greenwood the same way.
Absolutely.
Just back there and hanging out with the guys. He doesn't care if you sing here or if you own the place or if you clean the toilets. He's going to treat you the same way and talk to you just like a normal guy.
And tell them the coolest stories.
Oh yeah, he's got tons of stories. Lee, I met Lee Greenwood in let's see, about 1985. Our little band was out on tour. It was Kenny Rogers, Dolly Parton, and then there was a middle act, and then Sawyer Bram. And I did that. We did that for a little over 2 years, and that middle act would change all the time, and it would be guys that were a little bit had more record success than us. So it was Lee Greenwood, the Oak Ridge Boys were out there, Diana Ross was there, different people changed, and then eventually we moved to the second slot, and this dude named Brooks, something, he moved in there. I don't know if he ever amounted to anything, that Garth Brooks guy. He came out for a while, and then he passed everybody, including Kenny Rogers. So, known Greenwood a long time, and a nice fellow. We had some laughs about pretty extensive racquetball games we had back then in the day. Ricky Skaggs is coming here in Kentucky Thunder. If you're a bluegrass fan, he's going to be here on February 10th. He's always awesome. He's got some kid in his band that's from Utah. I don't remember his name. But I had never seen a guy play guitar like that. You need to see. You need to see these kids. If you
Bobby, this weekend we got to talk about Karen Knotts on Friday.
Karen Knotts will be here Friday. She, of course, is Don Knotts. I guess the plural of Knotts is Knotts, right?
Barney Fife.
Yeah, Barney Fife. She's Barney Fife's daughter. She'll be here on Friday night, and kind of an interesting little show, a little bit different than what we have here. And she said she's got a lot of clips from the Mayberry show and a lot of stories about the show. That'll be an interesting show. And she's here this Friday, so there's probably a few tickets left for that. Speaking of that, I got so wrapped up over in here, ladies and gentlemen, the sidekick, the Ed McMahon of the Orange Blossom Social is our buddy Fast Eddie. Everybody say good morning to Fast Eddie over there.
Good morning.
How are you, buddy?
I'm doing good.
Yep,
Doing good.
and you got an album
Yes.
review, or album review. Here he is, folks.
My all-time favorite show here at the Orange Blossom Opry, which happened to be my very first show of working with a star here. And I have the original ticket stub from January 17th, 2015. That was my very first show here at the Opry. Lori Morgan, of course.
Oh, Lori.
Yes.
Was that when you first started working here, Eddie?
First day, the first star I worked, the first night I worked here was New Year's Eve with a Carl Bennett, John Denver tribute show here. And January 1st, of course, or December, whatever.
15 or 16?
15.
Oh, 15.
Yeah.
So
it's
you were
9
here.
years.
Yeah, you
9
were here
years.
a few years before I was. All right. Well, there you go. Have you, Eddie?
Can I comment on Eddie's green hair? For
Eddie's-
those of you that are watching,
Does he have green hair?
Green hair.
it looks like it on the screens. It looks like he's got green
It
hair.
wouldn't surprise me.
No,
I mean,
I don't color my hair. Anything but my hair. Yeah.
What does that
don't
mean?
touch the hair. I'm a hair guy.
It's kind of scary.
Don't touch the hair.
well, okay. Yeah.
I'm good with everything but the hair.
Don't mess with that.
Spandex, whatever it takes, but not the hair.
All
But
right.
what I always said about hair is I don't care what color it turns as long as it don't turn loose.
Turn loose. That's right. Yeah. I had a fella say, "Man, you're just jealous of me," and I looked at him and I said, "Nah, I don't think so. I got a lot more hair than you."
Another big show that I since I'm the oldest one here at the Opry now after Kevin's gone. Joe Nichols. I've been waiting for Joe Nichols. I know Paul's worked him a bunch of time, but I literally been pushing to get him.
You're gonna
That
have fun that
man,
night.
There's a few tickets left on both shows. I can't believe that because Joe Nichols is one of them guys that people are going to sit in this audience and say, "I didn't know he did that."
One of those guys.
He has to. What I mean by so many hits, radio hits, he has a gift, and I'm going to tell him that as a disc jockey for 40 years, that man just knows how to get songs on radio, and that's really hard to do.
Well, he's a great singer for one
And
thing.
great songs.
Had I wanted to sing one of his songs, "Broken Heartsville," because I loved that record, and I just couldn't. Just face it, that's not my thing. And I sang it. We worked it up with the band. if you want to take a crack at it, you could. You got that kind of voice. I
Be a
just
fun
couldn't
song.
get Broken Hearts. I sounded like Pee Wee Herman or something.
Somebody commented, Greg commented about Dave singing Neon Moon.
Yeah, he does a
He's
great
like,
job.
Spot on.
Neon Moon. Yeah, there you go, Dave.
Well, thank you.
Yep, Dave does a great job saying Neon Moon. And I asked him about, we try to learn new songs. We do this Friday Night Live thing, and a lot of the same people come to Friday Night Live. So we try to keep pushing new songs on top of everything else this band has to do. On Friday night, I still like to add some new songs, and I asked Dave about some Alan Jackson, so we can get some of that going. Yeah. So, well, of course, Joe Nichols' big song was "Tequila Makes Her Clothes Fall Off." That's probably his biggest record that I know of.
The other thing, Bobby, is the Goldens. I think a lot of people, when they see that name, they don't realize, everyone knows the Oak Ridge Boys, but I don't think they really realize how good the Goldens really are. You know, because you're personal friends with them. But when they were here, the Oak Ridge Boys were here, William Lee gave us a little sample, Karen and I, of what the Goldens were up to and what they had recorded. That show is going to be unbelievable. If you thought the Oak Ridge Boys had good harmony, you need to hear the Goldens.
Well, these guys are true
Yeah.
true family because it's his kids. So to tell you a little history about the Goldens, Chris and Rusty are his two sons. He has three sons. The third son's Craig, and Craig's the middle son. And I've always said in Nashville, where I lived for 43 years, the closest thing I had to family was the Goldens because we just played a lot of music together. Anyway, I don't need to get into that. But Chris, they had a band, a record deal as the Goldens with Chris and Rusty, a guy named Greg Gordon, Skip Mitchell, and Don Breland. And Chris is an awesome singer, and he was the lead singer in the band. The reason, many things fall through the cracks that are not the band's fault, and they fell prey to a record label issue that closed and went south. I ended up playing in a band for about 2 years with myself, Rusty, and Chris in a band called Dallas County Line, and of all things, we had hit records in Australia. So I went over, we toured over, and I'll get off in the weeds here, but our opening act was some kid named Keith Urban back then. So that was in the early 90s. Anyway, they are a talented bunch of folks, and what's going on is William has kind of teamed back up with both his sons, and they do this show called William Lee and the Goldens. So they will be here, and they've got a couple records out. I listened to it on my drive up to Michigan this winter. It's really good. They all switch up different vocals, and they've got an awesome band. Anyway, they've got an awesome. They got some top players from Nashville that only go out on the road and play with those guys that are longtime friends. So it'll be a big party here for all of us because it'll be like family day here. But you need to come check those guys out because they're awful. They're awesome, not awful. Awesome. No.
They're awfully awesome.
Well, I was thinking about why I said those. It's those, not them, Eddie. I'm a grammar nut, y'all. So if you say wrong grammar, I'm going to correct you every time. That's not them guys. It's those guys. Sorry, Eddie.
No,
I love you. I
A
love you
couple
to
more.
death.
We've got the legendary Jim Stafford coming here too. Spiders and Snakes, My
Yeah.
Girl Bill.
Do you
all
know the
those
story
big
behind?
hits.
You know the story behind Spiders and Snakes?
I think I remember him talking about it, but I don't remember. I know who wrote that.
Yeah, you
at
should
one
know who wrote.
time.
You should know who
Yeah.
wrote that. Anybody know? You know the song "Spiders and Snakes"? I don't like spiders and snakes. Anybody? Any clue in the audience who wrote the song? David Bellamy from the Bellamy
Yes,
Brothers.
that's right.
Yeah, I would say that was his. That's what got him started in the business, which happens many times in the music business. That's a good way to get started is to write a song for somebody. It helped our band a little bit. The lead singer and Sawyer Brown and myself wrote a song for Reba McEntire, and we got a song recorded by Reba, which then kind of helped shine the light on our band a little bit. Let's see, who else can I tell you about? Brad Paisley wrote a song that was called Another You that was a big hit for David Kirsch, which got Brad Paisley his record deal. What's that dude's name that's on American Idol? Who's the guy? Not
Scotty McCreery?
what's his name?
Scotty McCreery?
No, I can't remember his name. Anyway, Billy Currington's song "Good Directions" was written by this guy that got him his deal.
Luke Bryan.
Luke
yeah.
Bryant, yeah.
that
Luke
guy.
Bryant wrote "Good Directions."
Keith's old boss.
Yeah. Yeah.
Keith Horn's old boss.
Yeah. Keith Horn, our bass player here, used to play for Luke Bryant, yo. Keith Horn's played for everybody. The most impressive thing for me is he played with Peter Frampton, huh?
No kidding, man.
That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Well, for me, it was he played with Waylon Jennings.
Yeah, yeah.
Or,
You know, man, Waylon Jennings was a guy, you know, when our band started taking off, you know, I was a big country music fan. So I did weird things. I focus on these people and I say, I'm going to be friends with that guy because I was a big Charlie Daniels fan when I grew up, and I ended up becoming really good friends with Charlie, really close friends, and played with him several times. So I did that. I focused in on people that I wanted to be friends with because I was big fans of him. And Waylon was one of those guys, but man, he never liked our band. You know, Waylon really wasn't a spandex pink tennis shoe kind of guy. So, and Sawyer Brown wasn't really a outlaw band, so to speak. So, anyway, yeah, Jim Stafford will be here with spiders and snakes, and you know, he had a big variety show back in the 70s, I think, the Jim Stafford show. Did he not, Eddie?
Yes, and he would just tell people in the audience to give him a title, and he'd write his song on the spot right there. It was really fun to watch.
Yep, good guy.
Yeah.
He'll be here as well. We're glad that he's being here. Jimmy Fortune will be here coming up soon, folks. That dude's unbelievably awesome. And you know who's coming here, Eddie? The Fabulous Thunderbirds.
Oh, man, I can't wait
I
for
got
that
my
show.
album ready for that one.
Ain't that tough enough, right? And wasn't one of the guys in that band brothers with
Stevie Ray Vaughan's brother, Jimmy Vaughn.
Yeah.
He was a
in
founding
that
member.
band.
He's
I don't
not
think
with
he's
them
with them
now.
anymore, but oh yeah, they're great. Blues,
Yeah.
rock and blues. There.
Yeah, loud too. Loud. Yeah. And if you're a Brooks and Dunn fan, everybody, I'm telling you right now, March 17th, you need to get tickets to see Kenny Evans. It will be awesome. You close your eyes, you will think you're listening to Brooks and Dunn. Which, by the way, did I tell you about that? Because it's not for a while, but we back him up. And I think 3 years ago, we didn't have a guitar player, so I was the lead guitar player. I spent 2 weeks learning every one of those Brent Mason licks on that whole thing, but I forgot it all, so it's all on you now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I got all the acoustic parts, which is like the beginning of My Maria and some of that stuff, but all that guitar stuff's going to be in your lap, my friend.
Speaking of another group that's never been here that this year we have is Little Texas. We've never had Little Texas here. Super excited about
Little
that.
Texas will be here. There's a couple of original guys left in that band, I think, but
Yeah, their original drummer just came back. He was having some health issues, and he's back with them now.
yeah, I heard
Del
that.
Gray, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And the guitar player's always been there, right?
Yeah, Porter.
Porter's
Porter
always
Howell.
been there. So, well, that's cool. Well, you know, one of the guys in Little Texas who, let me see how good my brain is, was Brady Seals. He was in the original Little Texas band, and he didn't sing God Blessed Texas, but he did sing My Love.
My Love, yeah.
My Love. Then he left the band, and then he started a band that was with Keith Horn.
Yep,
They had a
Hot
band,
Apple Pie.
Hot Apple Pie. And they, too, fell prey to record business. You know, you wonder what happens to some acts and some bands, and you think, oh, they just went crazy. A lot of that has to do with the record company. You know, they change hands, executive moves, quits, the IP becomes somebody else, and if you're not a priority, there's a lot of politics involved in all that. It gets a little ugly, but nonetheless. So I guess, let's see, that's awesome. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am. You got to tell me what it is. I can't hear it. Oh, you forgot we were here and you've been sitting in the parking lot? See, I can't hear. They don't have microphones out there.
She said that
She
she
just-
was late. She was sleeping in the parking
Are
lot.
you sleeping in the parking lot?
Yeah. on the-
Eddie does that too.
Yeah,
Eddie,
once
Eddie
in a while, yeah.
Eddie sleeps. I've seen
only
Eddie.
well, with our resident cat out there, she keeps him warm.
The resident cat.
He's
That
our
ca-
guard cat.
that cat's
Somebody has
wild.
to guard the Opry at night after we leave.
Yeah, those cats that were out there one time. Don't go near those cats.
No, there's only one left. Oh,
Good.
Mama.
Good. Yeah.
Hey, Bobby, that's Mona that just walked in.
Hi, Mona.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't- Yeah.
I'm a
That's how you
stalker.
know.
Bobby, another stalker.
She's the one that created all the artwork on the guitars and.
Oh, that's who
Flatlanders.
you are. That's right. The guitar. Did you see it up there in the front? It's beautiful.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. She put.
Put Dave on there.
Oh, you're going to put Dave on there?
Yeah, he's a legend.
Well, Dave's quickly taken
But
over.
see,
Yes,
Keith and
yeah.
I are ganging up on Bobby with being lefties.
Yeah, do you ever notice that, Yo? Now when you come to the show, both those guys play guitar wrong.
It finally happened last night. Last night, when we were getting ready to open for the Bellamy's, a gentleman coming to the front of the stage, and Keith and I have been kind of holding a little wager to see who would notice first.
Yeah.
And this guy comes up and he goes, "Are you left-handed?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, I couldn't figure out if you and Keith were left-handed and Bobby was right-handed, or if Bobby was left-handed and you guys." I was like, "No, Keith and I are both left-handed."
Yeah, Bobby's right-handed. Keith and Dave are both wrong-handed.
See, Bobby might be right-handed, but Keith and I, we're correct-handed.
Whoa, there you go. There you go. That's right.
Wait a minute. Keith actually writes with his right hand, though.
Keith is actually right-handed. He just plays left-handed.
That's a weird thing for those of you who play guitar. I've seen a few people that play like that, and I've asked them all the same question: why do you play guitar? Because not only Dave plays left-handed, just like I play right-handed. In other words, it's just left-handed guitar, meaning if you, without getting too complicated, your lower string, your E string, low E, there's a low E and a high E. The low strings are always on the top. So
I say it's like looking in a mirror.
Right. So you look down. So Dave's playing correct guitar because it's, his low strings, same as mine. Keith Horn plays the guitar upside down on top of everything else. So where you would just play bum, bum, like this direction when you're thinking about playing, he's completely backwards and
does it so easily.
Oh yeah. It's just and I asked him about that. He said, "Well, it's just that's the way it felt." I asked Dan Seals about that because Dan Seals played guitar like that, and I said, "What in the world?" And he said, "When I was a kid, they only had usually one guitar in the family. Dad usually had the guitar, picked it up, started to play, and it didn't feel good, so they just flipped it upside down."
Well, see, for me, it was. I have the benefit of having two older brothers that both play guitar.
Yeah.
One was right-handed, one was left-handed.
Really?
So I had the opportunity both ways.
Yeah.
And my eldest brother that's left-handed would always lock his guitar up.
Yeah.
So I would take my right-handed brother's guitar, and I actually learned originally with the big string on the bottom, like Keith plays. Yeah. But then as I got a little bit older, what really decided it for me is I wanted a B-bender.
Yeah.
And I couldn't think of, well, if I play with the big string on the bottom, how would I get a B-bender?
Right.
So I forced myself to relearn with the big string on top, and then eventually Gene Parsons.
Are you left-handed or right-handed?
I'm completely left-handed.
Okay.
And my wife is also. And by the way, I want to say hi to my wife, Charlene, back in Ohio.
Yes. Come on down, Charlene. The
Yes,
weather's fine.
She's ready, I'll tell you what.
She's been commenting this whole show.
Oh, I'm certain.
Yeah.
And while I'm saying hello to a few people, if you don't care, I'd like to say hello to my goddaughter, Hazley, back home in Ohio, and her grandparents, Christy and Scotty, and my old buddies at the warehouse, Eric and Eddie and Mikey and those guys. Everything came about so quickly and so suddenly that
you were pretty fast. Yeah, we got a hold of you pretty quick.
Yeah, it was. I literally was talking to Chris, because that's how I got in here. Is I knew Chris Cockburn, the keyboard player, and he asked me if I'd be interested in auditioning, and I was like, well, sure, and thinking it'd be a month or so down the line, and he's like, well, can you be here Thursday? And this was Monday, and I'm in Ohio. And so I was like, well, if that's what I got to do. So I packed up some stuff, and I literally worked a 12-hour shift Wednesday, got in my truck, and drove down here. Got here at like 6 o'clock in the morning Thursday and played Thursday night.
I found him sleeping in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Eddie let me in the building.
Yeah.
That's popular around here at the Orange
He'll
Blossom.
do. If he sleeps in his car, he'll do.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah, that's right. If the dude can sleep in his car, man, he's good enough to play in the band. Well, it was. Chris told me we had a couple of other guys, but like I said, they were both awesome. Everybody that applied for the job was, like I said, you have to play at a certain level before you can even think about this. And I talked to certain guys in the band that called up and said, "No, man, sorry, love you to death, but it's good that you look at yourself like that, but you can't do this." But we did try out a couple guys, and they were awesome. And but they didn't seem. It just wasn't quite. There was a couple things missing. And Dave come in here and just hit it out of the park. Just hit it out of the park with everything. So
Thank you.
So it made life easier for me. Our guitar player was the reason that was is because we didn't get any notice or anything. Our guitar
Right.
player was just one day he was here, next day he was gone, and it's like oh yeah. So we were kind of scrambling, but we also didn't want to settle. Just grab the first guy. I said we'll just keep chugging along. I played guitar a couple of nights, and we just kept chugging along until the right pieces all came together. So.
And then that first Friday was an accidental cancellation.
Oh
so we
yeah,
had
that was even worse, right?
a second Friday Night Live.
Yeah.
And that to me kind of cinched it when I got up here and was doing a full Friday Night Live show with the band, and when I got on stage, it felt like I'd been on stage with y'all for years, you know.
Well, everybody up there, it's first of all, it's about having fun. I mean, if you're not having fun, and thanks to all these new guys who've came into our organization for making this band fun. Once again, I've told you all about the work schedule. It's pretty it's tough. It's pretty hard. It's every day. We work 9 days, had 2 days off. 5 days, we have 2 days off. Constantly learning songs. Now the idea is to be able to do all that and still get on stage and have fun. Not pretend like you're having fun. Actually have fun. And these new guys have really brought that back to the band because it's just a hoot. And you jumped in there and started rocking, and people are smiling and people are rocking. The crowd loved it, and it's like all of a sudden we're going, yeah. I mean, I think at the second after that Friday Night Live, we all text behind your back and talk about you behind your back, but you should hear the things we say about Fast Eddie.
Yeah,
but
most of it's true.
Yeah, most of it is. But we had pretty much said after about the second day or something, hey man, this might be our guy, and everybody was sending back thumbs up and all that stuff. So
Good deal.
So it worked out pretty good. And
Seeing it from an audience view out there, which I get, and listening to people, it's magic. Watching Dave and watching Keith and Randy. We can't even go into Randy.
Yeah.
That dude's on another planet. All three of you are really, but it's so much fun seeing this band really, really gel. And I tell people, within a couple of weeks, we're just going to be dangerous.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I got probably the best text that you could possibly get from a boss. And my boss, our boss, said, did you read the comments from the Friday Night Live post? And which I didn't, but it said people raved about how great the band is. So that's probably the best compliment you can get, not only from the boss, but just from the fans and from all the people. I want to say hello to my little cousin, actually, up in Lake City, Michigan. Mitchell's up there watching this morning. Hello, buddy. And he's probably freezing his tail off. The weather in Michigan these days.
I also would like to say hi to him.
Yeah,
I
Mitchell.
missed his call this morning because we're setting up.
Yeah, Mitchell can be like that. There we are, live right there. Look at that. I don't get. There's terrible grammar. I do not see the comments. I see George Trillinger on there. He's pretty funny.
We have another show
George.
due to a cancellation. We have Macy Mac coming.
Yep, Macy Mack is going to be here. I don't know. For those of you who don't know Macy Mack, she's kind of a local celebrity, I guess. Macy kind of grew up here at the Orange Blossom Opry. I don't know how old she is now. I think she's 20 or 21 yet? Somewhere right in there, but 22, 22, 20, just 20? Yeah, so I've been here at the Orange Blossom Opry about 5 years, and so she was 15 when I saw her. But you need to check out Macy Mack's show. She's quite the power-packed little unit for being about that tall. She's great.
Bobby.
And Macy's, my respect level went up for Macy for this reason. I don't suppose any of you all have done this, and why would you? Because it's probably the stupidest thing you'd ever do in your life. But when a person decides to throw caution to the wind and move to Nashville to chase their dreams, that's like moving to Hollywood doing the same thing. And not many connections. There's no big record person or any big person saying, oh, come on, we got you covered. Nothing like that. Just going up there and starting bare bones from the ground up and fight your way into that mess deserves a lot of respect. And she made that decision about, I think she's been up there maybe close to a year or somewhere right now. I don't remember exactly, but somewhere in there. And that's what you have to do. If you want to play in the big leagues, you got to step up and do that. And there's probably a lot of wrong ways to do it, but there's no right way. Someone said if you do X, Y, Z, yeah, you'll get a record deal and be a star. That's not true. There's thousands of things that can go wrong, and only a few get that little window of opportunity, and we hope that she finds that window of opportunity because she's a great little kid. And she'll be here, well, she's a kid to me. She's only 20. My cowboy boots are 20 years old.
And let's not forget Wednesday night on Fox.
Wednesday night on Fox. She'll be on Fox a Wednesday night. I know they sent a little bit about it, but there's a new TV show on Fox called I Hear Your Voice. Is that what it's called?
I can see your voice.
I Can See Your Voice. Well, I'm not really good at any of that.
At 8 o'clock, yeah, she's definitely, they're not going to see her voice and
Yeah.
picture her the same person.
Let me ask you something. Why does my phone have to have a code? Every time I stay away from my phone for 2 seconds, I have to identify myself. It's my damn phone. Why do I have to punch in a code to use my own phone?
Bobby,
I
we
hate
can,
it.
We can work on that.
Everybody
later.
see how we deal with Bobby and technology?
You've been
My
hacked.
technology. I just use my phone. I pick it up, and I've got that. They put the face thing on there, but if you put headphones on, or my hair's not done the same way, which in my case never is, then it's my phone doesn't work. And so when I want to pop it up to tell you about the show Macy Mac's on, because I have that information, I'm back to doing this. My mother is listening to everybody. My mom up in Lansing, Michigan. Hello, Mother. I love you so much. And I was just talking with my pal Mike today. We're talking about our motorcycle trip. We have the entire month of July, y'all. The Orange Blossom Opry will be closed, and most of us go on vacation. I usually take my motorcycle and go out west for the most of the month. I try to spend a week with my mom, and the other 3 weeks out riding motorcycle, playing like I'm a motorcycle guy. So we're trying to figure out, Mother, as far as I know, that's the next time I'll see you, but I'll be up there in July at some point. And my mom is 91, and my mother's in the Michigan Country Music Hall of Fame as a stand-up comedian and a singer. But my mother was a stand-up comedian. She wrote all of her own jokes. She never stole jokes like I do. And she wrote all her own little parody songs and played guitar and sang real well. So my mother was probably the reason I got. Did your folks play music?
Actually, no, my folks didn't.
Yeah.
Like I said, I had 2 older brothers that played, but it was just kind of one of those things that my grandfather on my dad's side was musically gifted.
Oh, he did. He was.
He played harmonica,
Yeah, my grandfather played harmonica a little bit.
and but he played Spanish music, Mexican music.
Yeah,
And so it's a different feel.
sure.
And but growing up, both my brothers played, and they kind of steered me. My dad was very much into the outlaw, Waylon Jennings,
really?
Johnny
Yeah.
Cash, that kind of stuff. My mom was more the Lynn Anderson, Patsy Cline, even Olivia Newton-John, back in the day.
Yeah, my dad was a local country singer for years, and he sang they played like 6 or 7 nights a week, and he supported our family like that. I remember when I was somewhere in about the 7th or 8th grade, my dad got a job at a trucking company, and he quit playing, and it might have been earlier than that. But my mom also sang and played, but my mom was our promoter. So my first band was in 8th grade. I had a band, and my mom was our promoter. So all the time that I was a kid, while everybody else was out getting in trouble, I was playing weddings and fairs and high schools, and our band played all the way up to high school. My mom was my biggest fan and promoted us and was dragging me all over the place, all that time till high school. And then on high school, after high school, I got that thing in the mail from the government that said, "Greetings." So
Talking about your families and everything, we have Twitty and Lynn coming February 25th.
Yeah, we do. You know what? That is the grandson of Conway Twitty and the granddaughter of Loretta Lynn. They
Nice.
will be here, Twitty and Lynn. And actually, they sing pretty good. They of course, they sing all their parents' songs, which I think is kind of cool because somebody's out there keeping that stuff alive. Conway Twitty had some incredible songs. I will say this, that some of the big stars' kids didn't get the same gift that Mom and Dad had. but these two do. They sing pretty good, and they were here last year. I guess they both sing real good, and they tell stories about their granddad and grandmom and stuff. That's kind of cool. That's on February 25th, so they will be here.
And the week right before that, you know, we do a lot of country acts here, but every now and then we can sneak in one of those golden oldies. And the Vogues, which are not far from where I'm born and raised in Pennsylvania, "You Are My Special Angel," they had just their
Oh, is that their
harmonies.
song?
Yes.
Yeah, some of these guys, you know, I mean, you're a lot older than me, Eddie, so some of these
Oh,
guys I
sure.
don't know.
I will be next week, next Tuesday on this podcast. I
Yeah.
will turn 64.
Is that your birthday next?
Yes.
Yeah, he'll
Yeah.
be 64.
We'll sing that when I'm 64.
Yeah, is there a
sure.
yeah, well, yeah. So Eddie is taking the lead on as being the oldest guy here.
Older than dirt.
Older than dirt. I talked to Gene Watson's folks, y'all. They'll be here on 2 days, February 5th and February 8th, I think. I don't know. No, February 5th and I don't know. Look it up, y'all. But anyway, Gene Watson's coming 2 days in a row. He'll be here, so that'll be kind of fun. Lots of cool stuff going on at the Opry. You can pick up one of these if you're at the show. Come by, pick up one of these. You can go online. I think. Can you go? You can go to our website, and I think that shows all the different shows that are coming here as well.
It also shows ticket availability a lot of times.
Yeah. It shows a lot of stuff there. Bee Gees Gold is going to be. You know, the Malpass brothers are coming out. I don't know if y'all ever seen the Malpass brothers. They're pretty awesome. They have a pretty unique little show. If you're, I always said they're the 2023, maybe some other brothers, something, because they got a little comedy act going. The one brother kind of plays a straight guy, the other guy doesn't, but they're great. And they play real old country music, real old stuff, and it's kind of fun. I'd heard of them, but never really seen them before. And then I checked out their show last year when they were here, and it was entertaining. And that's another great thing, Dave, about the Orange Blossom Opry is surely you're a music guy or you wouldn't be in this business or be here, but you get the opportunity to see so many people here.
Right. A show that's coming up that I'm really looking forward to is there on February 16th. We have
Yeah.
Henry Cho, the comedian, coming in.
Yeah.
And last year, I was fortunate to tour with the comedian Cletus T. Judd.
Oh, Cletus.
And I was out on the road with Cletus, and we followed Henry Cho into a lot of different rooms.
Yeah.
And I never got to see his show.
Oh, you didn't?
I was always right, like either the day after or the week after. And
Wow.
so I'm really looking forward to seeing that one.
Cletus Judd, whose real name is Barry Poole.
Yeah, fantastic guy. Hello, Cletus.
Yeah, Cletus, we love you, man. He's that dude. I got lots of stories about him. I can't tell you, but yeah, we're pretty good pals. He's about as crazy as they come. So Gary Puckett and the Union Gap this Saturday, everybody. That's a big one. That'll
Two
be
shows,
this Saturday.
yeah.
He'll be here. Young girl, get out of my. You know, he's getting up there and he sings great too. Sings awesome. So we look forward to that's what this Saturday. Yeah, 2 shows on Saturday. So big shows. What I always say is I hope the people in Weirsdale appreciate. Obviously, they do. When I first came here, I've been here about 5 years. There was many times in this auditorium there was 50 people here, sometimes 200 people here, and I always thought, man, you know what? This is what's going on here. Well, in the last 5 years, I guess, many things have changed here. And this auditorium, you'll see, is packed almost every night, sold out almost every night. And what that tells me is that you good folks that support the Orange Blossom Opry, we appreciate you more than you know. Thank you so much. But it shows that that the word is out, that the Orange Blossom Opry is here, and that people do appreciate what's going on here because they show it by their attendance. And that's awesome. Because I don't, Keith said, I can't remember. Keith, I think Keith started New Year's Eve, and he said, it's been sold out every night I've been here. And that's generally the case. Pretty much every night's sold out. So,
Personally, the reception that we get is incredible. You know, not only is it nice to play to a full house every night, but a full house that actually appreciates what you're doing. You know?
Oh, yeah. And people, like I said, I don't get it, Dave, but people go crazy over you.
Well,
Not
you guys
just
are
me,
talking
but
about
If
I hear an awful lot of cowbells out there, you know.
Yeah.
We got to find something for him. But you guys are talking about the selling out everything. Wherever you sit in here, there's not a bad seat in the house.
No, that's correct. Roger,
all.
Roger and Heather Byers have put all brand new seats in here, so all those things are all new. I don't know where the other seats went to, but there was a ton of them. But
I have 4 of them.
you do. So, but there's not a bad seat in the house, even if you're packed back there in the corner. And they get about, I think, 520 people or something like that. Somewhere right around there is packed. That's why we do 2 shows for some of these acts.
522.
522.
I had the boss talking in my ear the whole time.
So 522
It's almost
is,
like my wife is here too. 'Cause it seems like the same.
Yeah, you need to figure out who the boss is up there. So 522 is the max amount. I'm trying to look up something here because I have a ticket account. I usually get the ticket count to see 522, and I'm trying to see. Let's see. Yeah, there's a bunch of folks right up there. There's Ricky Skaggs is at 513 for one show, and right at 500 for the next show. A lot of folks right up there. Henry Cho close to 500. There's the Goldens. We need some work with those guys. But I am proud to say that folks on February 23rd, as I look at all of the numbers here for the tickets that sell, up high 500s and stuff, on that happens to be our show, and there's 527 tickets sold on that show right there. So
I think we're being cued that it's almost time.
time to go home.
Yeah, it's almost time.
All right.
Any
Well,
questions from the audience?
Yeah. Any questions, y'all, before we go? Yeah.
Oh,
yes,
we got
sir.
some. Eddie, can you take the mic out, please?
Yeah, we have headphones on, so we can't hear. Eddie will come down there and grab you with the microphone so we can hear what
This is why we call him Fast Eddie, folks.
Fast
yeah,
Eddie.
he's
In
real
3
fast.
minutes, they'll be to you.
He's real
Yeah.
fast. If
We'd
you-
like to take this time and thank our sponsors one more time.
Yeah, Flatlanders Grill.
Prevagen.
Yeah, Prevagen. That's who we need to. Yes, sir.
How important is the circle of fifths to a new artist, somebody learning? So I hear you change keys all the time, and I don't know how you can do that. It seems impossible.
So the Nashville number system was designed for exactly that.
Kind of circumvent that.
It does, because what they would find is they would get in the studio and somebody had written out all the music, let's just see for simplicity, in the key of D. And the singer starts singing and goes, I can't sing that. Yeah, I got to change it to whatever, E, D flat, C sharp, whatever. Well, then all of all of that is now doesn't make any sense anymore, which is why the Nashville number system kind of came into play. And so the charts for the Nashville number system, one, I can explain that to you in a little less detail off air, but kind of helps that. Is that what you would say?
Absolutely. Like I said, the number system kind of circumvents the circle of fifths. That way, if you associate a number with the position of a note in the musical scale, you can change keys with the same chord progression. But and that also
Because-
falls in with the reading charts to be able to
That.
read it.
Because do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do is always one. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, half step, ti, half step, go, do. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and because there's a half step in that scale, it ends up being a flat 7. So that 1 is maybe the key of C. So you put out your chart here that says 1, 4, 5, whatever the keys are, you're reading the changes. Well, I got to sing this in D. Well, you go to the key of D, that chart still works because you just have to know your Nashville number system is what they call
Just your
it.
starting position is the only thing that changes, really.
Right, and so whatever key you're playing in is always 1. And then and your scale is just like, and it holds like that in singing as well. So if you're singing a note 1, there's like, if there's a sharp or flat 1, 1, 2, so that's why you have to be able to understand that and read that as second nature here.
All right,
Yes?
we got another one.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, hi. I'm wondering what Dave would sound like on acoustic guitar, number one. And number two, any plans to bring back that all acoustic?
We
You
just
missed out.
We just did that show, and we didn't. It wasn't on Facebook. I don't have I don't know who does that, but it doesn't matter. But we just did it the other night, first time with the new setup, and it was awesome. So when we play for Karen Knotts, what we do is when the bands aren't, full band up there blowing it out, like Jimmy Fortune will have an acoustic band, Ricky Skaggs. When those bands are like that, we kind of tone our band down. But we haven't had a chance to get it together till just the other night. So I don't know what day it is. A couple nights ago was the first night we did it.
All right, I have a question and comment. Speaking, it relates just to that. Acoustic guitar playing, we've done Sundown for a long time.
Yeah.
And when Dave did acoustic guitar on that, now we do have to kind of get him to come out of his shell a little bit. My question is, where did you learn to play guitar? I mean,
well, he had it note for note. He had it right.
No, and plus the way his style of playing. I mean, to watch him, he like you said, he needs a little more enthusiasm to get him. But where did you learn to play like that?
Again, my brothers. I was very fortunate. Both my brothers. One brother was more of a rock fan, and the other was more of a country, almost pop fan. And of course, my parents. But just growing up listening to favorite players and trying to emulate their styles.
Yeah. Well, he played Sundown just like the record, and we struggled with that before. So you will see the acoustic show, probably not on a Friday Night Live, because we don't. The truth is, we don't have enough material to do that. But the songs that we did pick out, and we're trying to add a couple more, you'll see at the shows that are not, if the headliner is not a full-blown band like the Bellamy Brothers, and they don't have drums and they're not big, then we're going to calm down a little bit, and we're trying to get more songs into that show. So, but thank you, because it was a lot of fun.
It was a ball.
Everybody said, "Man, that was a lot of fun." So, we got anything else, or we got to go with our Apostle?
That's about it.
That's about it. All right,
Captain
everybody.
Kurt, anything?
Our crowd is growing. Our live crowd is growing here at our
Yeah,
show.
everybody show up. It's free to attend.
If it's
Bring us donuts.
yeah. Next time, folks, there's a lot of you out here. You could bring us coffee and donut. We have coffee,
Boston
but you could bring
creams.
donuts. But
Yeah,
our
yeah.
audience is growing. If you're in town, everybody, if you're here close to the Orange Blossom Opry on Tuesday mornings at 10 o'clock, we do a live podcast, and we got lots of folks here in the audience. You can come and ask questions, hang out with us, and just hopefully you all have a good time. Everybody was all fun and everything. We didn't make anybody mad, so we did good. Once again, big hand for Dave, for the newest member of the band. And we're going to sign off, everybody, and I say the same thing. Thank you all so much for supporting live music. Thank you for supporting the Orange Blossom Opry. God bless you all, and God bless the United States. Thank you, everybody.